What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I wanted to stir the pot a little bit, create some controversy, and it's mainly just through a hot take. And the hot take is, as the title suggests, I don't want Cal to be a live-action character, which means Disney Plus show, movie. I would prefer that they stay away from it. So I want to explain my reasoning with that in this video. I mean, you're free to just look at the title and leave the dislike anyway, but if you hear me out, I feel I have some pretty solid ground to stand on, and of course you can let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with my reasoning. So the reasoning is about as simple as this: I don't trust Disney. I could technically end the video right there, but of course I'm not really explaining myself. I don't trust that Disney would do it well. Now that's, I guess, part of it. I liken this situation, and you have to follow me through, it's going to take a little bit, is Ahsoka. Ahsoka is a character that I liken to Cal, and the reason I do it is I love Ahsoka. Okay, I want to get that out of the way very early. She's one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time, and she came, obviously, not even from the George Lucas, 6 films. She's an incredible character. One thing I think they've gone overboard with her is the idea that, well, not only does she kind of need to appear in everything, but she's kind of like the linchpin, but also that you can't really kill her. It's more about stakes to me. If I were to summarize Cal in one word in terms of, why I don't or do, I would say stakes. Because when it comes to Ahsoka, you have her arc with Clone Wars, you have Rebels, and you had a chance to kill her, and you didn't do it. Then JJ made that decision in Episode 9. Now you have to kind of figure out, okay, well, is she dead when she's talking to Rey, or is that some sort of Jedi trick? Like, what's happening? So now Dave Filoni kind of needs to make that decision. It just becomes messy. And I would argue that it's only gotten worse for Disney Star Wars as time has gone on. I don't think it's on an upward trajectory or anything like that. Okay, so what does that have to do with Cal? Well, for Cal, I don't want any impact of him being in live action to impact the game. So again, what I mean by that is if you make him live action, the sense that I would get is Disney likes to milk things, right? So Disney would want to say, okay, if you're going to be in a Disney Plus show, well, we're thinking like 2-3 seasons, and then maybe we can put you in this movie, and then maybe we can do this thing with you. You can have this spin-off. You can have this crossover event with Ahsoka. You could do this, and it just becomes so much. Number one, I kind of like the secluded nature. I actually think that's why Jedi Survivor works really well, is it's just, yes, there's been debate of, people liking or not liking the High Republic side of Jedi Survivor, but the idea that it's really an isolated event, and it plays around in the playground, but it stays away from the large majority of Star Wars. I think that's what makes it good. Now, if you introduce him into the wider world, you're doing a couple things, right? Well, you're bringing him into it, but then you're saying, well, here's the thing, Respawn, we're not really sure you are allowed to do the things that you wanted to do with him. I guess there is a caveat to this entire argument. It's there's two. If you kill him off in the third game, which I think is a possibility, and I also don't want them to be afraid of doing that. And see, I think by putting him in live action, say, between now and the third game, it means Cal survives. And you would lose that stake because you'd have that Disney, kind of whispering into the, or I guess Lucasfilm, whispering into their ear. So you would lose the stakes. But if he were to die in the third game, then I do think the caveat, the little asterisk is, well, you could make a show or something, and you could have it be between the events of Jedi Survivor and then the third game. I think I would accept that. I guess it would be like Andor. I guess, the character of Cassian Andor, that would be a really good comparison where you start, they did it movie-wise, right? But you start out his character and he dies in it, and then if you wanted to do more with him, well, you can literally only go backwards. I think if you let the games do that, and then the show would take place in between. Now, I think the show would have to take place in between the second game and the third game at this point. I would be okay with that. But I couldn't shake, or I still can't. I can't shake from my head if you were to put him in live action, but like say next year, or say even this year, they announce, okay, there's going to be a Cal show, and it's going to be with, Marin will be in it too, all that stuff, and it's going to be set, even if it's set in between, I just don't want them to do it until the games are done. Because if you do it when the games are still going on, I just feel like, again, you're becoming kind of too big. You're doing the Ahsoka thing with him, and I don't want that. And then number two, unless you blatantly tell me. But yet again, I mean, like, am I going to believe Kathleen Kennedy if she tells me something? You know what I mean? So even if you do tell me, I'm probably still not going to believe it. But like, if you do it and then you say, well, no, this doesn't influence Respawn, they can do whatever they want, I don't really buy that. I would buy that there would be some sort of limitation. And honestly, from time to time, if I think about it too hard, I'm a little afraid that that's kind of already happened. The more popular Cal becomes, the more I imagine, you know, the higher up executives are whispering in the ears of Respawn and saying, hey, you know, if you wanted to kill him off, if that was kind of the goal of the third game, we're really going to want you to not do it, because we, again, and like, it's maybe an exaggeration, but like the idea of, well, we want 2 seasons of a show and a spin-off and a crossover, and then he's going to be in a movie, and then he's going to be in an animated thing. Like, I think that's actually what would happen. I 100% believe that. That's where we're at with Disney Star Wars, or just Disney in general. And I mean, that is not, I think that's how you kill a character. That's how you ruin him. Cal is just becoming this elite level. I don't think he was an elite character in Fallen Order. He's an elite character now. If you do that stuff, he's not going to be an elite character for long, right? So that would be, you know, controversial. Of course, I want to see cool stuff in live action. I think he's a perfect character. I think the actor, I think everything works really well for him to be in live action. I don't trust that doesn't influence the game. That's one. And then I kind of skimmed over this in the beginning, I don't trust Disney. Like, you wouldn't have, unless you do, I suppose, unless you have Respawn, like they make like a television, like a multimedia kind of part of their company. Like, if it's Disney writers writing these shows and stuff, I don't trust them. I just factually and flat out do not trust them to make good material. Jedi Survivor story and characters and character arcs are some of the best we've gotten in God knows how long. And even if you want to even compare them to some of the movies with the reception of the prequels back in the day, I do not trust the people who made Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan. I don't trust these non-talented people, in my opinion, to make it. I just absolutely do not. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.